So since you were last here, things have gone nearly perfectly. We're sitting third in the table after 4 games, which, although it's early in the season, is still third in the table. And things are looking pretty good for us as we have a nice run of fixtures coming forward. We could be in the top 5 come 10 games to go to the season. That is fantastic. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today 2 games for you, at home to Ipswich and then away to Derby County. 2 big games for us coming up, and we've had some big results since you were last year as well. Let me show you what has happened since you were last year. So we joined when we beat Barnsley 1-0 in the league, obviously the first game of the season, Prince Harry scoring that goal there. We then went on to beat Rochdale 3-0 in the Carabao Cup first round, fairly routine win that. We then came up against QPR. First half was all them, they deserved their 2 goals. Second half was all us, and we deserved 3 or 4 goals. We had some good chances which didn't capitalise on, so we were unlucky to lose there. A draw was probably the correct result, I'd say, in my book, but we didn't pick up the win there, unfortunately for us. QPR, though, doing very well for themselves. I think they could be top, actually. They're doing quite well. We then played Huddersfield, though, at home. Chuma scoring the goal there. 1-0 win to Huddersfield. Huddersfield didn't play very well at all, and we chipped away at them all game until we finally got a goal towards the end of it, so that was nice to see. We then played Walsall, who were promoted last season, so they're not expected to do too well. They've probably still got a team like we had last season, for example, so easy-ish game. They managed to win that 2-0. Chuma and Kyle Howkins scoring those goals there. So that was great. We then came up against Sunderland in a repeat of last year's Carabao Cup second round. We beat them last season, but this season they beat us. It was a close game. I presume they weren't playing a full-strength side. We were playing not quite the full-strength side. We played a bit of rotation, but it was a good game either way. Interesting. Unfortunate to lose there, but I'm not too fussed because it is only the Carabao Cup. Which is alright, so that sets us up quite nicely as we head into this game. Third in the table so far on 9 points, which is great. QPR lost 1 game, but they're ahead of us on goal difference and things like that. If you look at the table though, it's looking pretty nice. Ipswich sitting down in 12th, Derby sitting in 15th, so we've still got a good chance of beating these teams. I know it's early season, they're only 3 points behind us, a win behind us or something like that, but I think early on this season we've cemented our credentials that we are a much better side than last season, and we can go on to do some decent things this season. Top half finish really is on the cards for us. A few little transfers to update you on as well since we last here. 3 have come in, first of which was Jordan Maguire-Drew. Now you may remember him from our first season, League 2. He was on loan at us from Brighton. He's there in real life as well, he's a good player. Recently released from Brighton, so we signed him up. He's been all over the place on loan from Brighton. They didn't want him, obviously, but he's played very well. League 2 recently, but he comes in as a decent League 1 player, potential for Championship, but he's more of a backup player to Prince Harry and Fosu, crucially because he can play naturally on both wings and can play as a striker as well. So he's very versatile. He'll be backup for us this season, probably next season and the season after that, that kind of thing really. He's never going to be a starting player for us, but I love his versatility and I know all about him as well, so great player to have at the club. Dominic Ball is the next player we brought in, another centre-back, another Championship quality centre-back. So we've got 2 real solid ones now in Dominic Ball and George Segura. So I am happy with those 2 now at centre-back. Carl Howkins also very, very good. Not quite as good, but can be as good in the future. So I'm having my 3 centre-backs now, the 3 main ones, which is quite nice to see. You know, I'm feeling solid about the back now. I was a little worried last time, but the confidence is there now in the side. He's played a lot of football, played a lot for Rotherham last year, but was let go for some reason. Now we've got him, so we'll have him. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rotherham, for that. And the final guy we brought in is Callum Camps. I've sort of been flirting with him all transfer window. In fact, I think he signed a contract twice, and then I said, no, we don't need him. It's fine, we don't need him. But now I finally have decided to take him on, which could be a bit of a risk, considering I've said no to him twice. But I just wanted a little bit more in midfield, just an extra body in there to make things up. And he's a great advanced playmaker, plays attacking midfield as well, so a very versatile, very useful player. I think he'll be more of a backup. He says first team, that's any contract he'd sign. I'd rather have him on rotation. But 3-star current ability, 4-star potential. I wish it was 5-star. He'll be a decent player for us for the next 2 or 3 seasons, I think, as a backup player. Played a lot for Rochdale, but is now made a step up to the Championship, which is a bit dodgy, really, maybe. And that's all the updates for you, basically, on the side and what we've been doing. Now it's time to get into the game. Ipswich at home today, and I think this is a very winnable game. So Haug starts in goal as the starting goalkeeper this season for us. We've got a back 4 of Vokins, Howkins, could be Vokins and Howkins, Vokins, Segura, Howkins, Roberts, they're our back 4. Coyle, Byers and Edwards start in the middle because Josh De Silva is injured at the moment. He's got a gashed head, so he's a bit down and out. So Joe Edwards comes in to make his maybe his first start. No, it's not quite his first start. He's made a first start already. So he's a bit of a squad player for us, as I said last episode. Can play anywhere across defence and midfield. So he's a great player to have. So he comes in today in the midfield slot. Fosu and Prince Harry on the wings as per usual. And Chuma starting up front today after scoring 3 goals in 3 starts, I believe it is. 4 starts. 3 starts in the league at least. So he's doing pretty well for himself. Cementing himself already as a top goal scorer. Fletcher has scored goals as well, but Chuma scored more. So there we go. Right, going into this game then, calmly. I know a lot of you want to avenge Ipswich. That always works. That always seems to motivate players and things like that. So we'll say that to them and we'll kick off. Now they're kicking off. Now Barnes starting up front for Ipswich there. Is that the Barnes we let go in summer? Because if that is, then that is very, very interesting that they've got him. I thought we were giving away a penalty then, but it's a free kick to us. Let's just check if that is Marcus Barnes. No, it's A. Barnes. So it's probably Ashley Barnes, I think it is, maybe. Yeah, Ashley Barnes. Good job it's not Marcus, otherwise they'd be struggling, I think, quite a bit. Early indications in this game then suggest that we are going to be winning it. 4 shots to their 0 shots, things like that. But, of course, the only stat that does matter is the scoreline. So hopefully, sooner rather than later, we'll be getting ourselves onto the score sheet. Well, it's been a really, really uneventful first half so far. 35 minutes into this game and nothing has happened still. We could go a whole half without a highlight here, which isn't that bad because, you know, as things stand, we're picking up a point. A point is very, very good. However, I would like to see us, you know, create a highlight-worthy chance, really, because that means that we're creating good opportunities for ourselves. Right, we'll say at half-time then. We'll go assertive and we'll go... what should we say? If everyone continues to work hard, we'll win this. A few players look happy. Maybe I should have gone for I'm not happy with where you play because we've not created that many chances. Well, there's no highlights, so we can't have created a good enough chance to be almost scoring from it, that kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So maybe I should have gone for that. But at least the boys are happy, and at least we have a side on top, which is the important thing here. I'm tempted to make an early change, actually, in this game. I say early, it's 60 minutes, there's still half hour or so to go. We're not doing that well creatively, I don't think, so perhaps we need to bring on a more creative player. That creative player could be Cameron McGeehan coming on. I think we'll take Coyle off. We'll bring McGeehan on as an attacking midfielder, for example, and we'll leave it just like that for now. If we score a goal, then great. We've got a highlight now, though, coming forward. It's Prince Harry. Can't quite get on the end of that ball there, but Coyle makes a great tackle there. Plays back to Byers. Byers through to Fosu. Fosu to Chuma. Chuma to Prince Harry. Prince Harry has put it in the back of the net, but Chuma was offside. So unfortunately, that doesn't count. But that, at least, shows we're starting to get a bit more creative. We brought them again, more creative player. We'll also say to them, get creative, and hopefully we'll create some more goal-scoring opportunities for us like this. Right, again, back to the tactics. Nothing's happened too much. We're going to bring Fletcher on, and we're also going to move ourselves up to attacking. I know we're playing on counter and things like that, but that's how I like to play the system in this league, because I know we're not the best, so that's why I like to play and start games at least. Maybe, this will do something for us now. Maybe it's not going to do something for us as a corner comes in for Ipswich. It's been cleared away, but only as far as an Ipswich player. But now Edwards makes a great tackle, and now we can try and get in a counter-attack. Prince Harry clears his ball out to Roberts, and now we're just passing it around, getting ourselves free. McGeehan, it's a great ball to Fletcher, but Fletcher can't get on the end of it, unfortunately. Now Ipswich have a chance to come back. Sears is through, and there's a man in the middle. I can see him already. Barnes scores against the run of play as well. We don't deserve to be a goal down in this game. Definitely not. That is rocked the boat, that has. Right, well, we need to go overload now, obviously. A bit more fluid. And can we say push forward? We'll say push forward more a bit as well. But it's annoying now. We've got a highlight now. It's all happening at the end of this game now as Vokins puts his ball into Edwards. McGeehan! His shot takes a massive, massive deflection, but it counts as his because it must have been on target just about. But at least we've got a goal back now. Moves us back up to 5th in the league on 10 points. If we can grab another one later on in this game, which I think we deserve, the 3 points will be all ours, and I'll be very, very happy with the boys for that. Which will bring Woodyard on as a Carrillo in the middle, see if that does anything. Just a slight bit more energy in the middle, that might help a little bit, but I don't think it's going to change things too much. As Prince Harry's on the ball, though, we're coming forward with it. McGeehan now picks it up, plays to Byers. We're just trying to build slowly, I think, now, as McGeehan plays out towards Prince Harry, but Prince Harry can't quite get there. But the clearance was bad to Fletcher. Fletcher's shot, though, he couldn't capitalise on the Ipswich mistake. And unfortunately, scoreline is still 1-1. And I think that is how it's going to end, unfortunately, for us. The clock ticks down now, 4 minutes at a time. Unless we can do something now, I don't think anything's going to happen for us. Jack Hobbs coming off Ipswich. He used to be a Lincoln City player as well. I think he's the record, in real life, the record transfer fee received in real life. I think it was like 750,000, I think, a few years ago. Fletcher, oh my goodness gracious me, if that goalkeeper didn't make that save then, Fletcher would have been in and scoring. The corner comes in, onto Howkins' head, but cleared as far as Byers. And that is full-time. Our first draw of the season. I'd argue we should have won that, really. What do I say to the boys? I'll say unlucky it wasn't our day out there. Maybe I should have been more harsh on them to get more of a reaction. Doesn't matter, though. We've got the draw. We've not lost, I suppose, which is nice. We've not conceded too many as well. That's nice as well. We conceded a lot last season, so it's nice to see that only the one conceded there, for example. But we're still 4th in the league, so there's nothing to complain about. 5 games in. If you said to me at the start of the season, 5 games in, you're going to be 4th in the league, I'd have bitten your hand off. So I'm happy with that, I suppose. 2 players now want to have words with me about playing time, I'd imagine. Woodyard, lack of playing time. We'll ask Bostwick to resolve that, because he always does it. Woodyard dropped like a football concern. Brilliant. McGeehan also wants the same thing. He wants first team football, wants to leave the club. We'll ask Bostwick to say the same thing to him as well. And McGeehan drops his lack of football concern. It's easy. Bostwick is just the best. Literally, ask him to do anything, he actually does it. He goes through with it. Woodyard, of course, when we had him as captain, was just rubbish. He didn't do anything. So Bostwick is a breath of fresh air, really. Unfortunately, Callum Camps, having just come in, has pulled his hamstring, so he's out for a few weeks now. Not the best news, but we do have players in the position that can play well like that, so that's all right. Also, deadline day tonight, but we're not going to take part in it because we've made all our signings now. And I've just realised it's also the international break coming up. So we've got 2 weeks before the Derby game. So international break always takes a long time to go through, just because there's so many games going on to simulate and things like that. A few players coming in on trial, which isn't too much to worry about. If they're any good, I'll let you know. But usually, they're not very good at all. So that's not too much to worry about. But as I say, we've got 12 days until the next game. It usually takes quite a while. So I think I'm going to pause things now and I'll just come back to the Derby game, because otherwise we'll be sat here for ages. So we're back from the international break now and ready to start the game against Derby. And you'll already see something a bit different about the team. Who is this Asayi Samuel? Well, you know what I said, no one ever good comes on trial. Turns out this guy's pretty decent, actually. He came in on trial. And we've got him on deal now. 3-star credibility, 4.5-star potential as a winger. On both sides, actually. Plays quite well on both sides. On 1.5k a week. 22 years old, from Nigeria, but should be a decent player for us. And as he just comes in, Tarek Fosu gets himself injured. So he comes into the side today to start off, which is quite good for him, I suppose. It also does kind of mean, because he plays on both sides quite well and is better and is cheaper, it kind of does mean that Jordan Maguire-Drew is a bit of a useless signing, especially as he's not as good and on a lot more money per week as well. So slight issue there, but at least we've got that versatility now in the attacking midfield positions, where at the start of the season we didn't particularly. So there we go. That's good to an extent. Other than that, the only change we made to the side, De Silva comes back in and Ball comes into defence as well. So they're the only changes we made since last time. Other than that, the exact same lineup, and hopefully today we'll be picking up 3 points away from home to Derby. Right then, kick-off is upon us. Derby, the bigger club, obviously, the more reputable club. However, languishing down mid-table at least, of course. We're not mid-table, we're sitting 5th or 4th in the league. If we're sitting 5th in the league right now as it stands, Sheffield United must have gone up very early on to overtake us there. But, I'm backing us in this game. I'm backing us.
I'm backing us in this game. I'm backing us.
I feel like now, this season, the results I've seen these first 5 games, coming into the 6th game now, I reckon I want to back us in most of these games now. Whereas before last season, I'd be like, well, I'll back us to only lose by 1 goal or something like that. But this season, I feel like I want to back us to win most games now. Derby are coming forward on the ball now. Huddlestone plays to Ledley, gets the ball through to Murphy, and now their man has come through. He was unmarked, managed to skip past the defence and slots it past our goalkeeper at the near post. That was a disappointing goal to concede, actually. I mean, especially as I've said, I've backed us already this season. Obviously, the computer's heard me and is now telling me you should never ever say that, because they're absolutely dominating us now and have now gone 1-0 up. So, alright, things not quite as good as I thought, but Vokins now has a chance to equalise. His shot, his free kick was on target, but the goalkeeper had it firmly in his hands and it was straight at him, really. So, wasn't particularly troubling him now, and Derby can have a chance to come forward once again. Huddlestone on the ball again, back to Ledley. Ledley through to Hesketh once again, who scored. Murphy with plenty of room, and I can feel it coming at the back post. Roberts makes a great clearance though, but Lass on the ball gets himself tackled. It's what? That's not a penalty. That was way outside the area. I'm not having this. How do I see this again? Right, is that it? No, that was just after the penalty decision. Right, here it is. Roberts This is outside the area, I guarantee. Outside the area. Well, you make of that what you will, but I'm telling you that was outside the area. Now they've got a chance to double their lead, have Derby, from the penalty spot. Is this Ledley taking it? I think it's Ledley, number 36. Yeah, Ledley steadies himself. Takes a spot kick, but the goalkeeper makes a great save. Hall fantastically keeping us in the game there. That was a great penalty save, actually. Well done, mate. Ah, that's not good. Connor Roberts has come off injured. And to my knowledge, we don't have that guy who's really versatile. I can't remember his name now, which is quite bad, considering I play with him quite a little bit. Not to worry, though, because Coyle can go at right back, which is all right. And Bostwick, or does De Silva want to play there a little bit more? No, we'll bring Bostwick on, I think, as that ball-winning midfielder. Leave De Silva there as that Carrillo. Bostwick can come on. But that's a shame, though, because Roberts is a great right back, our best one we've got. So if he's out for a long time, that would be really tricky. Murphy coming forward once again for Derby. And Jacob Murphy has doubled Derby's lead there. And
I'm backing us in this game. I'm backing us.
Maybe you should ignore what I said about me backing Lincoln this season. And maybe you should ignore the table, a few games into the season. We've dropped down to 8th now. So the playoff hopes are already over now. But Asai Samuel, the new guy, Bright is his first name, which I think is amazing. So we need to call him something like Shine Bright Like a Diamond. That can be his nickname or something like that. In fact, I might just call him that. Shine Bright Like a Diamond. And every time we see him, we can sing that Rihanna song and have a lovely time singing it. But we're coming forward. He's through now to score on his debut. And he's not Matt Sharp, obviously, because he's just put it way over the bar. Goal kick for us now in quite an eventful first half. 2 goals and a missed penalty so far and a few missed chances for us. We couldn't take command of the ball there in the attacking third, and now Derby can come forward. Murphy has had so much room. We've been rubbish on our left-hand side defending. They've been punishing us on their right-hand side. That's what it is, I suppose. And now they're coming forward. Although the ball there was not very good, and now Coyle can launch an attack. Chuma on the ball. If he can get a ball out to someone, Prince Harry, who's been our best player so far this season, comes close to scoring but couldn't get a shot on target. If it was on target, that was back of the net easily. But it wasn't to be. And now into the second half, we need to start performing, really. Aggressively, I want to see a much better showing from you in the second half. Everyone looks fired up just about there, which is nice to see. Hopefully we'll take command. We did this in the game against QPR. We turned things around at half-time and could have got the win, really. Hopefully we'll do the same thing here against Derby, but actually get the win. That would be nice to see. However, I'm not feeling too confident going into this, especially as I say Samuel is on a 6.1 rating. I know it's his first game, probably his first game for months and months and months as well, so we're throwing him right in the deep end today. But I want to see a slightly better performance from him. Vokin's also very, very poor. Both the players on the left-hand side are not playing very well, so we may look to substitute them later on. But Chuma coming forward now, gets into the area, has a shot, but again, over the bar. We just keep him down, keep him on target, and we'll get goals. Just keep doing that, boys. Don't just be clever. Do something creative, do something productive. I also can't tell if Derby have got a really good team or just a team of has-beens, like Huddlestone. Probably quite old on this now, as is Ledley and things like that. Vokins, though, makes a nice clearance there, and Asai Samuel just gives it straight back to them. Should have held on to it. Again, it's his first game back in months, but I do expect better from him, so hopefully Fosu won't be out for too long. He should be back by the time for the next game, I think, so it's not too bad of an injury for him. Alright, something has to change right now, and it's got to be up front. Fletcher's going to come on a pitch as well, and then we've only got one substitute left after that. Can McGeehan play on that left-hand side? He can't. He can't do anything on that left-hand side. De Silva's not played well, so Longstaff can come on for him, I think, because they play in the same position there. He may cause a few different problems for us. I think we nearly just scored there. I think it literally got cleared off the line. I missed it, but it doesn't matter if we didn't score, so I'm not too fussed. A throw-in for us now, though. I've not stopped talking in the second half. It's been busy. Longstaff on the ball. He's come on the pitch just now. Do something creative. Don't lose it like that. Plays to Bostwick. He's at least kept possession, I suppose. Vokins now with so much space decides to just run wide with it and do nothing. So a bad game for him all round. Bostwick, though, back to Longstaff, but Longstaff couldn't get onto it. It was a poor pass in reality, really. Now Hernandez can come and punish us. Hernandez into the middle, hits the post, and Murphy has scored. And that was a poor defensive error there. We just didn't get onto the ball quick enough. Howell didn't hold on to it, and again, on that second attempt, he just pushed it into the net, really. So
I'm backing us in this game. I'm backing us.
We're 3-0 down, and actually, deservedly so, I'd say. Well, we're counter-attacking off a corner now, and Prince Harry's the only player up, but lots of players coming in now. Bostwick, Fletcher on the ball. Fletcher shot just wide, and that has been the story of our day. We've made chances for ourselves, but we just can't get them on target. If we got them on target, be scoring quite a few more goals this game. Not, you know, it would be a lot better for us. 12 shots, 13 shots isn't bad. It's just that we've had poor opportunities, really, not made the most of them. And Derby have made the most of theirs, as they've... Apparently it's a penalty. Like, what... Literally, what have they just got a penalty for? When I'm looking back at that again now. Really, really bamboozled by that. Like, Fuchs puts the ball in. Or Fuchs, sorry, I don't want to be swearing at you. Williams, though. Apparently it was Vokins, or was it Segura? I mean, I literally have no idea. It was Vokins for tripping someone up. And that just topped off his day because he had a really, really bad performance. He'll be on like a 5.5 by the end of this game, I think, now. As Murphy stepped up to take the penalty. Nearly saved by the goalkeeper. But really, we've been undone today by Derby. And it's not been helped by the fact that Vokins has played very, very poorly. A lot of their goals have come... Oh, he's on a 4.4.
I'm backing us in this game. I'm backing us.
I've never seen a rating that low. Have you ever seen a rating that low? Because I know for sure that I haven't. I mean, Walden, he's made a pass there, so that should boost his rating by at least 0.5, which is probably quite good for him. We've got a chance to come forward, though, as Asai Samuel comes in, has a shot, but again, their goalkeeper's also been on top form, to be fair. He's on a 7 rating, which is quite good for a goalkeeper. Usually they just sort of sit at 6.9 because they don't really change. I thought we gave away another penalty there, but Fletcher now with a chance to come forward. We are creating lots of chances, which is nice to see, but we've just been lucky with them today, and defensively we've been woeful. Fletcher finally gets a consolation goal for us, and we probably deserve a few more in this game, if I'm being honest with you, but it's been eventful, but all for the wrong reasons. Well, it's quite a humbling defeat, I think, this. I came into this a bit too confident, I think, and perhaps we're not quite where we used to be. Perhaps we're not quite where I thought we were. We've had some really good results up until this point, but we have been undone today. Defensively, we were poor. Up front, we weren't bad. We just couldn't get a shot on target, so I guess we were bad. If we had more shots on target, the scoreline could have been very different, really. And if Vokins had turned up today, the scoreline would have been very, very different again. So I'm going to have to give him a fine or something like that, because a 4.5 is unacceptable. Well, we finished the episode on 11th, but 10 points in 6 games is something I would have taken at the start of the season, I think. So I can't complain too much, can I? Next episode then, we're going to go a little bit further than last time. I think we're going to go to Brighton and Charlton for the next episode. Brighton relegated from the Premiership last season, and Charlton, just a decent team to play, I think. So Brighton and Charlton are going to be on next episode on Thursday. Tomorrow we've got another experiment coming up, so that's the video for tomorrow. So join me next time for more Lincoln Loco action. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you next time.